Hi folks, this is Kenneth Price. On a Tuesday morning, I'm in my car again. Can you tell? I get my inspirations at the craziest, most inopportune moments when I'm in my car. So I have to pull over and I got to post another video. But it came to me when I was driving to my friend's farm, McMinnville, Oregon. I've got to make an entire video based on one topic. How about this topic, folks? We're going to talk about credentials in this video. Now, before I talk about credentials, if you haven't watched my other videos, my name is Kenneth Price. I've given myself a title. I call myself the Psychiatric Shaman. The Psychiatric Shaman is a dream character, and he's come into this community, which is called the medically injured community. Although no one's injured. But he comes into this community and he's a systems buster. And he's a systems buster because there are a lot of disempowering narratives going around this community which are not helping people heal. They're keeping people stuck in a loop-de-loop Groundhog Day of suffering, which is not necessary. Now, the reason I know it's not necessary is I was stuck in that Groundhog Day looping. And the reason I was stuck is I was actually mentally ill. Truly, folks, I was mentally ill. Spent 25 years of my life on psych meds, including benzodiazepines. And when you're mentally ill, you go for anything that makes you feel better, anything that can assuage the pain. So in addition to that, there were drugs and alcohol, and there were all sorts of addictions. Folks, I'm no longer mentally ill. No, I'm not. I'll stamp that right now. I'm not. Now, to get from mentally ill to completely healed, there was a bridge between those 2 points. And that bridge is the entire foundation of my ministry. And that bridge will be, there will be an escort from mentally ill to completely sane and complete and whole. And that the name of that escort, folks, is the Psychiatric Shaman. It's not me, by the way. Psychiatric Shaman can be anyone who escorts you across the bridge. Okay? So that's the 2-minute introduction to every one of my videos, but each introduction is a little bit different. So why are we going to talk about credentials? Well, this is a very unique community because you know how we got sick in this specific community. I'm just going to come out and say it. The ones who had their credentials are the ones who overdrugged us, and that's how we got sick. I'm not here to judge credentials, folks, and I'm not here to blame because that's going to keep us, on the side of the bridge of the mentally ill if we judge people with credentials and if we go into blame. But let's just call it out. People who got sick from their psych meds were poisoned by people with credentials. That's all I'm going to say on that. Because right now the Psychiatric Shaman will give you 30 seconds to cry over spilled milk. That's kind of a harsh way to put it, but I gotta be blunt and honest. I'll give you 30 seconds to cry over spilled. Well, we will grieve. I'm not saying there's not going to be grief, but for the purpose of this video, I got to use a very harsh colloquial. So we got 30 seconds to say it shouldn't have happened, and then we get to work. And then I'm going to say, now we're going to start taking steps across that bridge to the other side. Remember what this bridge is, folks. It's a bridge that has horizontal wooden slats, and each one of those slats means we carefully and gently take one foot and put it in front of the other, slat by slat by slat. Remember, for the metaphor of this video, we're going across a bridge from mentally ill to mentally whole. Now, there are a lot of different components in making it across that bridge, but the reason I wanted to make this video about credentials is I don't have any. No, I don't. And this is an opposite, upside-down approach, folks, because the one in this particular community, for my particular ministry, for this particular outreach, unfortunately, the ones with credentials are the ones who made us sick. Okay? Now, this is a very new dynamic, folks, because we are living in a time in 2022 when we're beginning to exit the need for credentials. We're now able to use this amazing technology and all of our resources to get together to assemble ministries like this based on people who may not have educational, psychiatric, and psychological credentials, but people who are fully qualified. And the reason I'm qualified, folks, is because somebody, more than one, many, way showers, which is what I've called myself, metaphysical way shower, escorted this dream character across that bridge slowly, slat by slat by slat, or if you want to use a different vernacular, rung by rung by rung. Anybody who makes it to the other side of the bridge from mental illness to mental wholeness has qualifications. Who cares about credentials at this point? Okay, there's one more thing I want to bring up as long as I'm talking about credentials. And I'm going to go into this because it has to be stated. Once I got to the other side of that bridge, folks, that wasn't the entire end of my story. I didn't just walk across there, withdraw off of all of my psych meds, withdraw off of all of my benzodiazepines, and get to the other side. Because once I got to the other side, folks, I stood there and I couldn't go beyond the bridge itself. You need to hear that. My withdrawals were that bridge, okay? But once I got to the other side, I couldn't go any further. Without, follow me on this one, without the next way shower, the way shower to take me beyond the bridge itself. And this is where I'm going to come out and say it, folks. The way shower who brought me away from the bridge itself, beyond the canyon, beyond the chasm, was a shaman. Okay? And that shaman broke the law. You understand where I'm going with this? The shaman who eventually healed me completely out of mental illness and brought me into mental wholeness after my withdrawals were complete and after I was complete with all the pharmaceuticals, he broke the law. You know why? Because psychedelics are illegal. Oh, credentials. The ultimate healing, the man who ultimately healed me broke the law. He's a criminal. It's against the law to heal people. But again, we can't go into that in too much depth. We'll give that one 30 seconds. All right? Because if we get lost in the land of activism, folks, I'm sorry. If we get lost in the land of activism, we're going to go straight across that bridge again and go back to mental illness. So I'm disclosing this to you in a video using as much laughter and as much levity sprinkled in with poignant serious, folks. And an honest disclosure is that a shaman in California, in ceremony, after all of my withdrawals and after all the pharmaceuticals had been flushed out, and after I had tremendous amounts of spiritual preparation, served me ayahuasca. Yeah. It's a very powerful medicine, folks. I'll leave information about ayahuasca down in the description. It's not for everyone, okay? But I'm sharing with you how I eventually popped out of mine, you know, and remembered who I am before all the psychiatric parables, before all the mental illnesses, how I remembered what was true about this person, which then qualified me to give myself the title of psychiatric shaman. I'm a way shower, folks. It's a trail of breadcrumbs. I say the same thing in all my videos. I just say it from a different angle, hoping that eventually someone's going to hear it, take the ball and run with it like I did. Folks, I don't want to be doing this. I've been guided to do this. And I'll do this as long as I'm continue to be guided. Because when you're on this side of the bridge, folks, you don't operate in the same paradigm as this side of the bridge. Look, I've got two fingers holding up. I've done this in my Zoom calls. I've done this in my videos, but I've always got two fingers. This time I've used a bridge metaphor. Oftentimes I use a caterpillar and a butterfly metaphor. In that bridge with all the slats, that's the cocoon. I'm not reinventing the wheel, folks. A man 2,000 years ago said this, and it's just a repeat over and over and over. But what's unique, folks, is that you've got to hear me. I was once mentally ill, truly. The doctors put me on those pills for a reason. And the reason I'm not going to judge the psychiatrists and the doctors that put me on those pills is they may have saved my life. You've heard me say that before. Over here on that side of the bridge, without those pills, I probably would have just avoided the bridge altogether, and I just would have jumped over the side of the cliff and killed myself. Those pills serve on that side of the bridge. My finger's pointing. The pills serve. Psychiatric medicines serve on that side of the bridge. I don't but and I make this disclaimer over and over. I never tell anyone to go off their psych meds. No! I'm not, that would be dangerous and reckless. I have never told a single soul that. What I do is I meet people who have already made that decision. Because you see, temporarily, folks, psych meds, and maybe even benzos, for a very short time, of course, but maybe they can serve. Long-term, well, now, we're the first generation. Now we know long-term, absolutely not. Okay? So, this is going to be my video for a Tuesday morning on credentials. Okay? There's going to be a lot of people coming, asking me, what are your credentials? What are your credentials? What are your credentials? Well, according to this video, the people that come into this ministry have been damaged by the ones who had their credentials. Okay, and credentials are designed so a lay person can trust. Now that's got to be included in this video. The only way you can trust, don't trust me, by the way, trust the message. It's the message, not the messenger. Okay, got to put that point forward too. Is to watch all these videos I posted, and you've got to trust yourself. Is this message for you? Okay. I'm not telling everyone that this message is for them. I'm inviting you to go inside and listen very clearly. Is this message ringing true for you? Because if it doesn't, then you've got to go somewhere where there is a message that will ring true for you. Now, this is the great thing about when I was mentally ill, folks, on this side of the bridge, I couldn't trust myself. And that's the land of vulnerability. And that's been brought up in these communities too. It's been brought up, well, people prey on us. Well, that's because we can't trust ourselves. I couldn't trust myself. I had to go outside myself, looking for answers. Basically, but it wasn't mental illness, folks. It was developmental. I was stunted developmentally. Children must rely on outside themselves. And as being mentally ill, I couldn't trust what was going on inside. Now, on this side of the bridge, remember, still caterpillar, butterfly. Now that I can trust myself, okay, then I no longer need to go looking for others to tell me what's true. That's all I want from this ministry, folks, is for others to have the capacity to go inside and find out for themselves what's true for them. I've said too much. Now it looks like it's on 13 minutes. All right, so you know how all my videos go. Leave your comments below. All right, this is a ministry. This is run on supply and demand, but not economic supply and demand. The supply here is what you need to hear, and I'll share what needs to be delivered when it needs to be delivered. Number two, like this. I host a weekly Zoom meeting on 9 a.m. Pacific time Sunday mornings. We just finished 14. We're going to have 15 Sunday mornings. Folks, they're all archived on my YouTube channel. You got to check these things out. I've said it before, and I can't emphasize this enough. All I do is facilitate. That's all I do. And we got some really amazing participation. People come in those meetings who have made the decision to heal, and there are dialogues and stuff coming through people that is astounding. That's why I've been archiving them on YouTube. I want people to watch those, and more than watch them, I want them to participate. 9 a.m. on Sunday. I'll leave the link down in the description line. My third thing. Remember my slogan. I've come up with an actual slogan because my purpose, one of my roles in this community, is I've got to pop these fear bubbles. Okay, fear is mental illness, by the way. Okay, faith is mental wholeness. That's why my emergence is not real complicated, folks. On this side of the bridge, I was fearful. On this side of the bridge, I am faithful. And trust me, after I got done with my psychiatric parable, that shaman who delivered the ayahuasca, he gave me the final blow that solidified that I was to trust. Some people say, what do I trust in? Well, we could say God, and that's a vernacular which can be appropriate, but I will go even one step further as I trust in life now. Trust in life. Okay. That being said, I've not been damaged and you've not been damaged. I discovered I wasn't damaged. And the moment I discovered I wasn't damaged, same holds true for everyone. We're not separate. If I wasn't damaged, it can't be a truth for anyone else. Damaged is the narrative that's keeping people from risking, leaving. That other side of the bridge, folks, in my story, this was an inconvenient truth. Caterpillar was a habit. Suffering was a habit. That's why I come back and I dedicate so much time, because we're breaking habits. We're breaking the habit of suffering. And what more, courageous act could, you think it's courageous to quit, to quit drugs? You think it's courageous to quit smoking? Quitting the habit of suffering. The habit of suffering is more valuable than quitting all the other habits. I guarantee it's worth it. I can't be damaged. I wasn't damaged. So I'm going to hold the same truth for you. I hold that truth for you. I don't tell you the truth, but I hold that truth for you. And it's it's called holding space, so that you will discover that about yourself. And when you discover that, take one more step. I'm a 12-stepper from way back. That's how it works. So that's an explanation of the psychiatric shaman quote, slogan. You can't be damaged. That's why you can't be damaged. Because who you are cannot be damaged. This is going to be about an 18-minute video. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this ministry. And one more thing before I go, I'm going to actually start now a bi-weekly Zoom. This one's going to be Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. There's enough demand. People now want 2 Zoom calls per week. So I'm looking forward to that. I love you all. God bless. Thank you for letting me do. One last thing. Thank you. I'm thanking you. Okay? When you come and you are open to healing, when you are open to healing, I emerge. You emerge, I emerge. We're not doing this hierarchy. Remember, we're doing this in unity and community. Okay. Oh, boy, am I a windbag on a Tuesday morning. Love you all. Kenneth Price, psychiatric shaman, and the topic of this video was credentials. Okay, God bless. Bye.